For the second time in 2025, the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship heads to Blyton Park in Lincolnshire. Just over 50 cars here across 7 different classes, some 3 months on from the opening round, in warmer conditions as well, with plenty of drivers having had to do some refettling to their cars after very much a crash-bang-wallop first round with plenty of action and incidents. It is great to see drivers from across the UK and Ireland here once again for what should be a great day of racing on this former infield circuit. We'll take a look at a lap of the circuit first of all. We're on board with Todd Crooks in his BMW Mini, going back a little to the opening round of the championship on board with the former Super Modified champion. Rallycross, of course, a mixture of tarmac and loose surfaces. We head into the tarmac first left-hander, then up towards turn 2, a tighter left, taking the cars over the infield section across the former runways here at Blyton Park, and then onto the loose through the little water splash there on the inside. Gets very bumpy through this section of the circuit. We go out onto the back of the circuits through the little chicane and onto the back straights, avoiding the cones and the tyre stacks through there. Then into this little left-hander on the tarmac over on the far side. Speed increasing then down towards what used to be a double left-hander, now much more of a hairpin, providing some overtaking opportunities up the inside under braking. Then back onto the slightly smoother, slightly quicker tarmac back towards the paddock section. Speed increases along here to a square right-hander. Avoid the tyres on the inside, then into a left-hander to complete a lap of the Blyton Park Rallycross course. Thanks to Todd for chauffeuring us around. We begin our race action today with the Bone Street Auto BMW Mini category, identical 1600cc supercharged cars. The heat shared between Wesley Wickens in the 51, Ryan Cooper in the number 11, and round 1 winner Llyn Llewellyn, the Welshman, in the yellow car. We're underway for 5 laps of the Blyton Park circuit into turn 1. Cones already going flying. Michael Amlin running wide there at the back of the field in the number 55, and it is Wesley Wickens who emerges from turn 1 with the lead in the K-Seal sponsored car. The opening round here at the end of March won by Llyn Llewellyn ahead of Wickens and Amlin. Ryan Cooper, a newcomer in the Bell Rallycross machine. David Bell, a pioneer of BMW Minis in Rallycross. We'll see him out in his Countryman later on in the Super Modified class. And at the back there, what's happened to Michael Amlin? His bonnet has flown open, so that could put him out of the race. He'll try and make his way round to the paddock possibly. Struggling his way round. He hits the brakes and the bonnet closes, but if the catch is broken, it's just going to open again as he puts his foot down again, I would think. So that could be end of race for Michael. Wesley Wickens, meanwhile, leads the way ahead of Ryan Cooper as they complete the first of the 5 laps of this Bone Street Autos BMW Mini A final. In the heats, we had the lone Clubman 4x4 runner out with them, but Graham Reed, the Scotsman in the Nissan Pulsar, unable to start the final. Problems in Heat 3. Each class runs 3 heats through the day, and you take your best 2 heat scores to determine your grid position for the A final. Wesley Wickens then, from the front row of the grid, leads the way. Michael Amlin still going in the background, so the bonnet has stayed down for now. Ryan Cooper up there in second place, having a good run. Kicking up a bit of dust there, Llyn Llewellyn, the veteran Welshman, returned to Rallycross over the last couple of years for the first time since he was a regular in the 1980s. Trying to close in here on Ryan Cooper for second place. The other car here today, treble 7, Warren Salter, sadly had problems in practice earlier this morning, didn't get to race. BMW Mini started off as a class within the Super Modified division before branching out into their own championship. Michael Amlin back up to speed now. The bonnet so far has stayed down as Wesley Wickens pulls away. Here comes Llewellyn challenging Ryan Cooper now for second place. Into lap 3 of the 5-lap sprint. Short races, but very spectacular, very exciting in Rallycross. Over the bumps there on the infield section, through the water splash. It's almost more like a rally stage through the middle of the course there on the loose. Blyton, primarily a tarmac circuit owned by the Ginetta sports car company based in Yorkshire. Do a lot of their testing here. It's used for sprint events and track days as well. Also an auto grass course on site, very much a multi-motorsports centre here at Blyton. Wesley Wickens pulling away just a little in the number 51 BMW Mini. Bit of a lock up there from Llyn Llewellyn as he closes on Ryan Cooper, trying to take second place away. Michael Amlin is still running further back. Oh, and his bonnet's opened again. Now you can see there with the shape of the bonnet, you can just see on the lower part of the windscreen. So he's going to try and keep going to the end of the race. Mind that road cone in the middle of turn 1, just clipped there by Llewellyn. As he closes up on Cooper, trying to make his way up alongside. Cooper, though, pulls away a bit there out of turn 2 onto the loose section, and flying over the bumps there is Wesley Wickens. He's looking good here as they make their way round the penultimate lap. Through the chicane onto the back straights. To this extension of the course over the last couple of years, beyond the back straight into this left-hander around the tyre stack. Llewellyn's dropped back a little now from Cooper into third place, and if anything the lead gap has come down slightly. It's Wesley Wickens coming round to start his final lap. See the amount of mud on the second and third place cars of Cooper and Llewellyn. See how wet it is on that infield section. We're into our final lap of this Bone Street Autos BMW Mini A final. We should have had the Clubman 4x4s out with them, but their only entry not making the final today, sadly. Out of turn 2 for the last time. It's looking good for Wesley Wickens, unless Ryan Cooper can do something special here on this final lap. Over the bumps they go once again. Through the puddles and then out to the back of the course. Swing their way through the cones. You don't want to get a penalty for knocking down too many cones. There are penalties doled out for hitting track markers or exceeding track limits. Into the hairpin for the final time on the concrete, then back onto the quicker tarmac. And Llyn Llewellyn ready to challenge for second place. It looks like it is going to be a win for Wesley Wickens in the number 51 out of the final corner. Takes the checkered flag. Wesley Wickens wins the BMW Mini. Second place goes to Ryan Cooper, and Llyn Llewellyn just behind him in third place. Now, where is Michael Amlin? Has he been able to close his bonnet? No, he's still going, look. You can just see out of that small gap where the bonnet has folded up at the bottom of his windscreen, he's somehow going to come in and finish this race. He's wobbling his way home, but he does take the checkered flag. Well done, Michael Amlin. Don't miss the paddock entrance. Just about gets the car stopped there. So the win goes to Wesley Wickens, 2 seconds ahead of Ryan Cooper. Llyn Llewellyn did get a time penalty for hitting a track marker there, but he keeps third ahead of the rather visually impaired Michael Amlin in fourth place in our Bone Street Autos BMW Mini A final.
Wesley, you've had time now to relax a little bit and contemplate. So what happened?
It was a good day, to be fair. Heat 1 was quite good. That went really well. Heat 2, just about survived. Heat 3 was a bit carnage on the start. It was 4 wide really. We all got squeezed, but the final went well. Finally got a good start, which was good. Don't really get many of them. And then just sort of tried to keep my head cool. I underplayed it a little bit. I drove a bit too slow. Then made a mistake, and then the panic sets in that Ryan's going to catch you from behind. But just about held my cool, and it was nice to get a win again here, and it was nice just to get one on the board for the year.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Ryan was putting you under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. I haven't raced him properly yet because he sort of stopped racing as I started, so we sort of never met. So it was good to get a race with him today and see how it is. But we've had a good laugh and a good tit and tat, and. We've got one today and we'll see what happens at Pembrey. I haven't got a win at Pembrey yet, so the goal of this year is to get one. We've got 2 tries in a month's time to try and get one.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's good momentum going into it, and we'll see. There's good jokers should be there as well, which I like. It'll be a strong point for me, but it was nice just to get one on the board.
How do you celebrate after a day like that?
Long journey home in a hot van. Gonna have to get some drinks on the way home, and then sleep and then work in the morning. Straight back to it.
Back to normal life.
Yeah, sadly, but we've got a month to look. It was a big break this time between round 1 and round 2.
Yeah,
so it's good that the turnaround's only a month, so we've got something to look forward to in a month's time.
Which some momentum.
Yeah, and momentum to take to Wales for the first time, which would be good. See if we can actually keep it in first this time.
Well, congrats for today. It's good to see you out there racing,
And you. I won't miss you next time.
And with such good competition to play, wasn't easy.
No, it was not. It was a good fight.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Well done.
Thank you.
Moving on to a full grid of MS UK FIA cross cars, the little 850 and 600cc machines, always very spectacular. The heat's won by Will Ovenden, who starts on pole. 44 Ben Bartlett alongside him, and Max Weatherly from the outside the front row in the number 7. They howl away from the grid into this 4-lap A final. Ovenden gets away well, so does Weatherly. They will slide their way around. This class absolutely booming this year. You can see from the numbers they've got here today. A bit of a tangle there in the midfield. One car doing a bit of a wheelie there over the wheels of another. Looks like it is Max Weatherly who has emerged from the lead. David Kane and Liam McMullen were two of the cars that tangled up briefly there on the first and second corner. And it is Max Weatherly, the former Suzuki Swift racer, who leads the way, throws the car through the left-hander on the back straights. Sliding sideways there, the 420 of Kevin Sharkey. Just listen to the howl of these little 850 and 600cc engines. Max Weatherly in the Life-Live TN11 buggy that leads the way, built by Thierry Neuville, the World Rally Champion. Will Ovenden giving chase, the former junior champion, among others. The Ovendens, of course, very prolific rallycrossers, all of them. Kevin Sharkey coming under fire there from the 29 of Liam McMullen, who got a bit caught up on the first corner. The MS UK FIA cross cars tied in with Motorsport UK, with the Five Nations BRX Championship this year, among others. They've been over to Mondello Park in Ireland a few weeks ago. 581 there, David Kane. He was in the top 3 at the opening round here at Blyton, finished second to Ossian Price, the Welsh rally star, and a spin there at the back for Kevin Sharkey, left facing the wrong way in the Speed Car Wonder. Nice to get that going again. Max Weatherly in the Life-Live leads the way. Will Ovenden in a Mégane XC04, the French-built machine, in second place. Mégane famous for their single-seaters, especially in Formula Ford over the years. Battle for third between David Kane in a Speed Car Wonder. Ben Bartlett also in a Mégane. Ben Bartlett, the junior champion last year. First 4 have broken away. One of his junior rivals further back in this field, Teddy McPherson, who came through the B final. As Bartlett up the inside, Kane back up the inside through turn 2. A great fight going on between these two. They bang wheels as they come out of turn 2. The top 2 are getting away though as they head over the infield. David Kane's got the place back again as they head onto the loose. It's the numbers today warranting a B final where the top 2 qualified through. Stephen Burke and Teddy McPherson were the men who came through. The ones to miss out, unluckily, Ian Lloyd and Alex Steele. Down towards the hairpin, the battle for third, the highlight at the moment. Bartlett has a look up the inside. Nearly clips the back of David Kane as he comes out of the corner. A bit of a change in the Suzuki Swift he raced previously to the Junior Championship. There's a battle behind. Bradley Turner coming under fire from Liam McMullen. Bradley Turner in the blue car. He had a heat win here at the season opener at Blyton at the end of March. Into the final lap now of this MS UK FIA cross car final. These really have been the success story of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship in the last couple of years. Max Weatherly has pulled away in front. It looks like it is going to be Mad Max who takes the win. Kevin Sharkey has stopped there. We caught a glimpse of in the background. He's out of it. Will Ovenden still second. The battle for third between Kane and Bartlett. Further back, McMullen is 5th ahead of Turner. Then Stephen Burke, the B final winner. Teddy McPherson and Lewis Gatt in that battle as well. Will Ovenden sideways through the hairpin. Is David Kane going to hang on for third place ahead of Ben Bartlett? It's going to be a win for Mad Max Weatherly, always an entertainer. He comes in to take the checkered flag, sideways over the line. Ovenden second, David Kane is just going to hang on for third. Terrific fight there with Ben Bartlett. And the rest of them will come home behind. McMullen is next ahead of Turner. Looks like Lewis Gatt next home, then Stephen Burke and Teddy McPherson at the back, because of course we lost Kevin Sharkey. He spun early on, then stopped up at turn 1, but he is able to make his way back to the paddock under his own steam in the Speed Car Wonder, but won't be classified as a finisher, having only completed 2 laps unfortunately, but tried his hardest. takes a shortcut back to the paddock. Bad luck to Kev, classified 10th in the event. Out of the excellent entry of 12 cars today. So Max Weatherly takes the win by 2.5 seconds ahead of Will Ovenden. David Kane was docked one place for gaining an unfair advantage, and further down Lewis Gap got a penalty down to 9th place as well. But it's Max Weatherly takes the win ahead of Ovenden, Bartlett, Kane and Liam McMullen, completing the top 5 in our MS UK FIA Cross Car Final.
The smile expresses it all.
Is it still there? I can't get rid of it.
It can.
Part of my face now.
But can you please put into words what your smile tells us?
It's a tricky track, this one, particularly with the cross cars. It all comes down to the first corner. It's the Monaco of Rallycross, I always think, this place. It's a fabulous track, fabulous facilities, if I can get my words out. I love what Alan's made with this track and the Rallycross part of it all. And the team have brought a mega car for me to drive, thanking to EDSL and TCS and LifeLive for making this TN11 for me, because it's just so fun to drive. It's awesome.
Yes.
I love this class.
Yes, everyone I've spoken with this year and last says how much fun they are. They're so direct, they're so involved, and frankly, you don't get a moment's break.
No, it is relentless from the green light all the way to the end. I think it's about 36 gear changes we had a lap around here. It's quite intense. My right arm is really feeling it after those 6 laps, I can tell you. I'll be probably feeling it for the next few days, but it's just fabulous. It's such a joyous class, and I hope it keeps growing, because at the moment it really is. And if you are interested in Rallycross, I recommend one of these beauties right here. It's fabulous. They're so rewarding. It's easy to pick up. It's cheap. It's cost me less than my Swift to maintain it and run it. It's fabulous.
Well, that's some comparison, considering it's a 1600 Suzuki Swift is not megabucks to compete in. But I think really this afternoon has been quite an advert for the cross cars as a concept and as a championship. And as our current champions, you're carrying on delivering the goods.
Yeah, we seem to pull it out of the bag when it matters, which is the last race of the day in Medley.
That's the one that really counts.
Yeah, exactly. Always just leave it right on the edge, just until the last moment. It's fabulous. It's just awesome. I couldn't wish for a better car to drive, a better event or a better class today. The weather's been beautiful as well. Extra bonus. It's fabulous.
Who could ask for anything more? I feel a song coming on.
This is the meaning of life for me right here.
and on that note, just Max, well done. Congratulations. It's always great watching you racing, throwing the car around, sort of almost backwards around some of the sharper corners.
I feel like it.
And it looks it too. Many congratulations. Keep it going.
Good old Mad Max, full of fun as ever. Now time for some entertainment from the MRF Tyres Junior category. 2 heat wins for Elliot Fuster have put him on pole position. Jimmy Jeekins in the Nissan Micra won heat 3. 5 cars out there. We get underway. Jeekins gets away well in the Micra ahead of the 4 Suzuki Swifts out there. Elliot Fuster looking to make up for a crash that put him out early in round 1 here at Blighton. That was won by Hayden Harris, who's gone wide there and dropped towards the back of the field in the number 999 car. It's Oscar Cooper who comes through for 3rd place ahead of Aston Brown. Battle is joined for the lead. Nissan against Suzuki. Elliot Fuster through on the inside. Running wide at the back is Aston Brown, one of our newcomers. Jimmy Jeekins drops to 2nd. We've seen his brother Alfie racing in the junior category over the years in a Nissan Micra as well. It is Elliot Fuster who holds the lead. Won his first ever A final at Knockhill at the end of last season in Scotland at the final round in very wet conditions. It's Ben Bartlett who went on to win the title on that occasion. Jimmy Jeekins giving chase. Oscar Cooper, one of our newcomers this year, up there in 3rd in the purple number 42 Swift. Hayden Harris trying to get around the outside of him. See his father Andy out in the production class later on as well. Fuster under fire from Jimmy Jeekins. Less than a car length in as they complete the first lap of this MRF Tyres Junior Rallycross final. Drivers as young as 14 can compete in the junior category. 1300cc Suzuki Swifts, the Micra of 1400cc. We've seen a Citroen C2 out last season as well. Swinging their way through turn 2. Oscar Cooper going well up there in 3rd. Frustrating round 1 winner Hayden Harris at the moment. It was Teddy McPherson who was 2nd behind him. He's now moved up into cross car, and the Micra leaps through the air almost motocross style there through the loose section, getting the rear end well off the ground for Jimmy Jeekins. training ground for the Rallycross stars of tomorrow. Seen a couple of members of the Ovenden family, including Will Ovenden, who was out in the cross cars, come through this division over the last few years. Main battle is now for third. Oscar Cooper under fire from Hayden Harris. As a look up the outside there, coming out of the hairpin, you don't want to run too wide there. You could get pinged for exceeding track limits and possibly get a time penalty. It's the start of lap number 3. First 2 have gone clear. Still Fuster that leads the way, looking to make up for his accident in round 1. Get back to winning ways. First time in 2025. Championship moves on from here at Blighton to Pembrey in South Wales at the end of July for a double header. Back in action in September at Linden Hill, the home of Rallycross in Kent. And then they conclude their season at Knockhill in Scotland in October. Hopefully a little drier than it was last year when the track was virtually flooded. A spin there at the back for Aston Brown. The 57 car has gone, but he rejoins. Here comes Harris having a look. I thought he might have a look on the inside there on the left-hander, but Oscar Cooper, newcomer this year in the ROC racing car, holds him off. Still Elliot Fuster up front in the 707. Treble 9 of Hayden Harris tries to get alongside the purple machine of Oscar Cooper. Harris in the blue and yellow, similar to the old Subaru World Rally Team colours. No Subarus out so far this season in the championship. We haven't had any entries in the 4x4 category so far. Won by Thomas Ramanauskas, the Lithuanian, who's Mitsubishi for the last 2 years. Hopefully we'll see Thomas back out later this year. It's Hayden Harris trying everything he knows to try and get past Oscar Cooper for third position. They're falling well behind the top 2 here. Looking good for Elliot Fuster to take his first A final win of the season as the third place fight bounces over the infield. Jeekins fairly safe in second place. Harris tries to get alongside, but he ploughs through the cones there. Almost cut the chicane completely. Could get a time penalty for that, Hayden Harris. Trying every trick in the book to try and get past Oscar Cooper. This is a good run by Cooper, good defensive drive for that third place. Moving towards the start of their final lap this time, the MRF Tyres Junior Rallycross Championship. Here's Fuster, clear of Jeekins now in second place with the Micra. It's a little bit wide there through turn 1, but that sets the car up for the tighter turn in on the second bend. Last lap signal held out by the marshal in the background, and thank you once again to all our volunteer marshals and all the other officials who make this championship possible, the medical staff, recovery crews and so on, the off-track administrators as well. As up the inside, Hayden Harris, this time he's got a run on Oscar Cooper. There's a bit of contact between the two. I think Cooper's gone off onto the grass there. Hopefully he can get that going again as Hayden Harris pulls away into third place. There's Jeekins in second place. He's not going to catch Elliot Fuster, who's pulled away now. It's going to be a win for the 707. Up towards the paddock turn for the final time. Here he comes. 707, Elliot Fuster for his first A final win of 2025. Takes the checkered flag, wins the MRF Junior category. Second will go to Jimmy Jeekins. Good result for the Nissan Micra. Weaves his way across the line. It's going to be Hayden Harris in third place. Bad luck to Oscar Cooper. I think he's still going further back. Yes, he went off there on the loose section. So Harris third. It'll be Aston Brown recovering from that spin to take fourth position. And Oscar Cooper rather unlucky there. You can see the amount of mud on his car after he went off under pressure from Hayden Harris. Don't think there was any contact between the two of them there. I think he just got forced wide. He's able to rejoin and will finish the MRF Tyres Junior A final in fifth position. His day will come. Oscar Cooper just learning his craft in the junior category, but it is a win for Elliot Fuster, just under 5 seconds clear of Jimmy Jeekins at the flag, with Hayden Harris, who did get a time penalty for hitting those track markers, in third place, but retains third ahead of Aston Brown Oscar Cooper completing the 5 finishes in our MRF Tyres Junior A final.
Elliot, a hot day for a hot race, and you were talking earlier on about your day so far, and you were hoping for this very event to win your final. How does that feel?
Really good, really good. I mean, we're really fast that whole race. Really good start actually. Managed to get down the inside, down Jimmy, and then just lead the whole race really. Yeah, really, really good race.
Well, it was, and certainly for the first 2/3 of the race, Jimmy wasn't giving you any space at all. Your mirrors were full of a little Nissan Micra.
Yeah. The car. I'm now one with the car, I think, because before I seemed to be slower than I am now, which I think I've got quicker and quicker throughout the day, which is I think why I was just leaving Jimmy a bit. But yeah, really, really good.
Well, they say practice makes perfect. More seat time is always a good thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see you for the next round, where who knows what waits.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you very much.
On to the SG Haulage Super Modified category, and it's a welcome return for Darren Bleasdale, the former overall BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross champion. He won all 3 heats. He's on pole in the Vauxhall VX220. He blasts away as he usually does, but what's happened? He suddenly slowed there and has been swallowed up. He's gone to the back of the pack. I don't know what happened for Bleasdale there. Maybe he missed a gear off the line, and it is Paul Coney in the Corsa who takes the early lead. So Darren Bleasdale, the triple heat winner, has got to come through from the back this time. He's got ahead of a couple of cars there. Running wide, James Avison in the Honda Civic onto the grass. There is Bleasdale, the white car, ahead of Richard Moore in his super sounding V8 engined Mercedes SLK. But it's Paul Coney who leads the way. Kieran Curran, the Irish visitor, in second place in his Corsa, and third David Bell, the reigning super modified champion in the BMW Mini Countryman. Converted from 4-wheel drive, that machine. Bleasdale already up into 4th place. That VX220 is so quick in a straight line. He went unbeaten in A finals in the 2022 season to win the title overall. He's through on the inside of David Bell on the paddock section. Well, he won all 3 heats in a canter. I think he must have missed a gear off the line there, because he got away and then suddenly seemed to slow up. So Paul Coney leads the way in the Vauxhall Corsa. It's the Opel Corsa of Irishman Kieran Curran holding second. He was third in the opening round here at Blyton Park. Crossed the line second, but got a penalty for jumping the start. Coney leads, Curran second. We had another former champion overall out in the heats, the 2023 champion Fred Ling. Unfortunately, his Fiesta picked up some damage in the heats and was unable to start the A final. Also missing Sam Jones in his Suzuki Swift, as Bleasdale slides up the inside, clips the side of Kieran Curran. I thought he was going to go straight on there. David Bell able to close back up again as a result of that. Coney extends his lead. Vauxhall's 1 and 2. Vauxhall's 1, 2, 3. 2 courses on the VX220, which now goes through into second place. Doesn't look like a rallycross car at first glance, the more sports car orientated machine, but it absolutely flies along. He's up into second now behind Paul Coney. Into lap 3 out of 5. Curran runs a bit wide there in the background. Sam Jones failing to start this A final, broke down in heat 1, as did Gary Cook in the Loughborough College Weira Tools Ford Fiesta, unfortunately. David Bell all over the back of Curran now. Paul Coney, can he hang on in front in the Corsa? Darren Bleasdale closing in, racing today in aid of Alice House Hospice up in his home in the northeast, where his brother-in-law Paul spent his final days. Sadly passed away in December 2024, Paul. Darren racing in his memory today. Very fitting if he was able to take an A final win here. Kieran Curran still in 3rd place. Then we've got David Bell. Now Darren Bleasdale will not take championship points here. He's not registered for the BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship this year. He would dearly love to win in his brother-in-law's memory. Chasing down Paul Coney. Now he dodges across to the inside. Coney holds him off. Good battle here in this SG Haulage Limited Super Modified A final, but Coney's run a bit deep there into turn 2. This is Bleasdale's opportunity. You can see how much quicker the VX220 is in a straight line. Well, he didn't want to be doing a straight line there. Going into the infield section, Coney forced him wide and holds his lead. He's desperate to win this race, but he's clipped the tyre stack there coming through the chicane. Now Can Bleasdale get alongside him? Things getting a little fraught here at the front of the field. Bleasdale having to race through the hard way this time, coming through the pack after that problem at the start. Two brothers have raced with him over the years as well, Jason and Stephen Bleasdale, the family from Hartlepool. Here they come up towards the paddock section into the final lap. Can Paul Coney in the Corsa hang on in front? Puff of smoke there, another road cone goes flying. Coney's run a little bit wide there, he's run very wide coming off the paddock turn. He's off onto the dirt there, this is Bleasdale's opportunity, and he doesn't need asking twice. Through goes the VX220, he's gone from last into the first turn, leads into the final lap. Coney lifting a wheel there as he throws the car through turn 2. But Darren Bleasdale, you just cannot stop this guy in the SG Haulage Super Modified category. He won't get points, of course, as we said. There's Richard Moore, good to see him out with the V8 engine Mercedes SLK. Great looking, great sounding car. He's a little further down the order. Looks like it is going to be another win. 4 out of 4 for Darren Bleasdale. Into the hairpin for the final time in this SG Haulage Limited Super Modified A final. It's down towards the right-hander at the paddock for the final time. A flash of flame from the exhaust. He comes in to take the checkered flag, dodges the road cone in the middle of the road. Coney comes over in second. Curran is third. And they're clear of their opposition. It'll be David Bell home next in the Mini Countryman. And a gap back to Richard Moore, who rumbles his way home in the Mercedes. Final finish will be James Avison. Used to race in the production category with a Ford Focus, now in the Honda Civic Type R. Covering from running wide onto the grass early on, he'll take a P6. Darren Bleasdale, a fitting victory in our A final. Paul Coney was penalised for exceeding track limits, as I expected, so goes down to 4th place. So Kieran Curran will get maximum championship points in 2nd place, with Darren Bleasdale not registered for the championship. Curran second ahead of Bell and Coney, then Richard Moore and James Avison further back in our SG Haulage Limited Super Modified A final.
Darren, after winning the overall BTRDA Championship in 2023, and it was, or was it 22? And then we've seen you a few times between now and then, but to come back and win today. Yeah. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's always a great feeling to win, you know. Try to do it in a little bit of style there. I messed the start up a bit, but crawled my way back in the final to get the win. My
theory on that is that you were trying to make a show for us.
Hey, of course, yeah. I got the family here, so I thought I'd make a bit of a show for them. Been a bit of a boring day.
We had me on the edge of my metaphorical seat. What happened?
I just first to second. I think it was my front wheels were in a bit of a bump, so when I've then back wheels have come up behind me and I've got into second, it's just I've sort of hit 4th basically. So then,
it could have been worse then.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it after that. It was
certainly made for an exciting race. But of course, it's not a coincidence that you're here this weekend. You're here for a special reason, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you'd like to tell us about that?
Unfortunately, brother-in-law passed away in December, so we're just raising a bit of money for the Alice House Hospice. So just bit of testing as well for the car as well, and raising money for a good cause. The help out in these last days and stuff, and all of his family, his mum and dad are here as well. So it's been a great day. The sun's been out.
For you, that was especially for you.
Yeah. I'm sure he's up there. He's been watching as well. So it's been a good day.
In the meantime, from me, Darren, congrats.
Great. You too. Thank you. Nice to see you again.
And you.
On the grid, ready for the Spark Developments Pre-95 Classic A final. The heat wins went to Tom Edmonds in the Corsa, Vince Bristow in his BMW, and John Cross in the Lancia Stratos replica. They occupy the front row. Steve Gaunt in the Corsa and Macy Art Evans, the Welshman, in the Peugeot 205 on row 2. We're underway. Great start by the BMW of Vince Bristow. Mr. Sideways, as we call him, takes the lead into the first corner ahead of John Cross, the winner of round 1 in the Stratos clone. David Ewan back out in the Fiesta Evo. Let's look up the inside there. Good to see Tony Lynch back out in the white Peugeot 205 as well, who had that big accident here at Blyton in the A final in March when he rolled and was collected by Tom Edmonds. His Mark 1 Toyota MR2 was wrecked on that occasion, so he's in the backup Peugeot 205 towards the tail of the field. Helen Crooks at the back in her classic Mini. As they make their way around on the opening lap, it is the BMW of Vince Bristow who leads the way, the E36 328i. John Cross in the Stratos replica in second place. Macy Art Evans a bit slow off the hairpin there, the Welshman in the 205, the Spark Development sponsored car. It's allowed the first 4 to get clear. John Cross in that little Lancia Stratos. It's not an original Stratos, that one, the 70s rallying icon. It is a replica. A very quick, very powerful machine indeed. Tom Edmonds up there in third in the Corsa. He's had a few big smashes in this championship, unfortunately, over the years. Deserves a change of fortune. And yes, Macy Art Evans, I thought he was a bit slow off the hairpin there. The tattooist from South Wales. Bit of smoke from the 205. He's dropped behind Helen Crooks in her Mini. Steve Gaunt in the SG Haulage car, the sponsor of the Super Modifieds, but competes in the Classics in his Corsa. In 4th place. Another Corsa up there in 3rd, chasing down John Cross for 2nd place. But it's Bristow who leads, one of the great entertainers of the BTRDA Rallycross Championship on and off the track. Accomplished rally driver as well. And the BMW it is who leads the way. Once again, the championship sponsored by Autosport International this year. The racing car show held every January at the NEC in Birmingham. There's David Ewan, nice to see him back out in the Fiesta Evo. Missed the opening round with commitments on his farm in Cumbria. Fiesta Evo, so known because it has a Mitsubishi Evo engine, a bit of a mishmash of various vehicles that machine is. Proper rallycross old school hybrid, staying ahead of Tony Lynch, veteran rallycrosser in the Peugeot 205. Good to see Tony back out after that big crash here at Blyton in March. Vince Bristow continues to lead John Cross, the winner of round 1. It was Darrell Ambrose's Peugeot 205, second on that occasion, but unable to start the A final today. He had some problems in the heats. Stephen Gaunt was third on that occasion. Tom Edmonds in the Corsa up there. There's Helen Crooks towards the back in her classic Mini. You normally see her son Todd racing in the Super Modified division, of course. And Macy Art Evans spins. The Peugeot not running well today, sadly. Looks like he could be out of it. Hopefully he can get that going again. But yes, no Todd Crooks today. His BMW Mini in for repairs. Hopefully we'll see him back out later this year. Todd's wife Jordine, of course, the championship coordinator for BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross, does a lot for not just this championship but all motorsports off track. So a big thanks to Jordine for her efforts off track. Has competed occasionally as well, as Tom Edmonds goes through into 2nd place past John Cross. More nimble handling Corsa up in a second, and he's going after Vince Bristow for the lead. This is impressive by Tom Edmonds, who's been a nearly man of this championship for some time. Has had a lot of bad luck over the last few years. Evans in the Peugeot out of the race there in the background. And Vince Bristow hang on here. Mr. Sideways in the BMW. Doesn't want to get too sideways now, or Tom Edmonds will be through. This is a good run by the Corsa. He's up the inside there. Bristow's gone wide, coming off the hairpin. This is Tom Edmonds' opportunity. Can he get through down the straight? Yes, he's done it. Impressive from Tom Edmonds. Takes the lead of the Spark Developments Classic A final as they go into the final lap. Bristow goes wide. There goes another road cone. White Park will be charging for them at this race. John Cross in 3rd, then Gaunt. Pulled away from the rest of the field. Cross is going for 2nd place. If he finishes at 3rd or 2nd, I think Cross will be leading the category points at the end of this race. Tom Edmonds away in front. Very impressive indeed. Looking good for his first ever A final win in the category, I believe. Vince Bristow in 2nd place. Sliding the BMW as ever. Stephen Gaunt giving chase to Cross now in 3rd. We're on the last lap of this Spark Developments pre-95 Classic A final. Menacing little Lancia of John Cross trying to chase down Vince Bristow for 2nd. He's under pressure in turn from Gaunt. It is going to be a win for Tom Edmonds, who's had so much bad luck over the years, but he's finally going to take his first ever Classic A final win. comes in ahead of Prince Bristow to take the checkered flag. Cross is third, Gaunt takes fourth place. And they're clear of David Ewan, the man from Cumbria, who should be in P5. Here comes the Fiesta Evo. Fifth place on his return from his farming commitments. Sixth place will go to Tony Lynch in the Peugeot 205. At the back of the field, Helen Crooks in the Classic Mini. We normally used to see her battling for Mini honours with Ian Clark, but we've not seen Ian's Mini outs for quite some time. Now hopefully he'll be back out someday to battle with Helen Crooks. She'll take 7th place, but it is a very welcome success for Thomas Edmonds. 3.5 seconds clear of Vince Bristow, holds off John Cross for 2nd place, then Gaunt, Ewan, Lynch and Crooks. Macy Arts Evans, a non-finisher with engine problems sadly in our Spark developments. Pre-95 Classic A final.
Thomas, how wonderful to see you race at such pace and come up with the win.
Yeah, it's just when things keep pushing. Obviously, we've had loads of knockdowns, so it's nice to get an overall win.
Yeah.
Especially against such as Johnny Lance here, which everyone knows it's a power machine. So
Yes, yeah. I mean, obviously you had a good starting position, and then it was a right battle between yourself, John and Vince, going into that first corner, and there you were in third.
Yeah, we're sitting in third, and then obviously we kept pushing John. John went out a little wide, so we got John, and I thought I'd hold it there as such, but then Vince started going wide, so we got on his tail and kept pushing.
Well, have a safe journey back home, and however you celebrate, you deserve to celebrate well.
Definitely.
And we'll see you for the next round.
We will. Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas. Well done.
Onto the grid come the MOT Group production category. Reigning overall champion Alex Fletcher on pole in the Honda Civic Type R. The Weira Tools machine goes into the lead down into that first corner. He won a heat earlier on. The other heats were won by Nathan Jones in the silver Honda and Neil Brooks in his Renault Clio. His first ever win, we're told, after over 30 years of trying in motorsport. So congratulations to Neil. He's made a good start as well. Martin Peters in third place in the Saxo. And then we've got the Citroen C2 of Edmund Shepherd, the black car. There's Andy Harris, number 998. You saw his son Hayden out in the juniors earlier on, but it's Alex Fletcher, the reigning overall champion, number 1, who leads the way. Of course, the points from all the categories are combined to give the overall champion at the end of the season. Edmund Shepherd's had some contact on the first lap, dragging his rear bumper behind him. There's Nathan Jones. Then the Saxos of Ben Flynn and Finn Vore, ahead of Andy Harris. So they make their way around the opening lap. Good to see numbers rising in the production category, intended for the newcomer to Rallycross. Here comes Nathan Jones on the inside. Had a bit of a wayward moment on the loose section on the first lap, side by side with Edmund Shepherd's battered car. But it's Alex Fletcher who leads the way, the Loughborough College lecturer, the car prepared by his students. Nathan Jones fighting back after an off on the first lap. You can see the amount of mud on his Honda Civic, but he got his first ever win earlier on in the heats. Great to see Neil Brooks a winner after many, many years of trying. Although his son Tom not enjoying as much success today, the motorsport commentator and journalist, as Nathan Jones goes off again, getting the bumps wrong there. Ed Shepherd goes through. Jones comes to a stop, and off goes Finn Vore as well. He's gone the wrong side of the tyre wall, nearly into the field there on the far side of the circuit. Ben Flynn emerges ahead of him. Yes, Tom Brooks, the voice of Formula E, among other things. Sadly, problems with his Honda Civic in the heats earlier on, not able to join his father in the A final. And Will Noon also out in the heats, a Renault Clio that finished third in the opening round here at Blyton behind Alex Fletcher and Martin Peters. Saxo's battling it out further back in the order. Nathan Jones has rejoined at the tail of the field, having a rather wayward race here. It's Alex Fletcher who continues to lead the way. Peters second. Neil Brooks has dropped back a little now into third place. Certainly a better showing than the opening round at Blyton when Neil hit one of the tyre stacks and rolled his Clio. It's Alex Fletcher who leads. The overall champion leads last year's production champion, because the quirk of the rules in BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross is each driver can only win one title. So if you win the overall title, as Alex did last year, you can't win your category title as well, and it goes to the driver who's second in that category's points, which was Martin Peters last year. Peters all over the back of Alex Fletcher. This is almost a repeat of the A final at the first round in March. It was a Clio in third place on that occasion as well, or on that occasion it was Will Noon, who sadly had problems in the heats today. There's Andy Harris in his smart Suzuki Swift at the back of the field. It's 8-car grid for the MOT Group Production A final. Now Alex Fletcher, if he wins this, will be the only driver to have won both A finals so far in 2025, and will be leading the championship overall once again. Just reward for the Loughborough College students who prepare the car as part of their motorsport engineering studies. Alex Fletcher having overcome more than most to continue in motor racing after winning his battle with lymphoma a few years ago. Great entertainer is the Loughborough College man in the Wera Tools sponsored Honda Civic. Sadly his running mate Gary Cook in Super Modified not able to start his A final today. Martin Peters putting him under pressure. It was these two plus Mark Henry in the Alfa Romeo who were the battlers in production last year. Haven't seen Mark in action over the first couple of rounds, the Buckinghamshire driver. He's started a new business a few months ago, so been concentrating on his off-track activities. Hopefully we'll see Mark back out later this year. Fourth place Edmund Shepherd. I think he shed that rear bumper that was flapping around now. Ahead of the Citroen Saxos of Ben Flynn and Finn Vore, a couple of our newcomers this year. We're into the last lap now of our production A final. There are the Saxos. Not sure if the orange machine there of Finn Vore, if that's Charlie Maroney's old car that he had some success in. Close to the loose they go, chasing the C2 of Edmund Shepherd. Peters right on the bumper now of Alex Fletcher. Could we see a last spin lunge here from the Citroen Saxo to try and take the win and prevent a double for Fletcher into the hairpin for the final time? I think the Civic with its slightly bigger 2-litre engine is going to have the power here down the straight. The Saxo only 1600cc, running in a different subclass within this championship. Bit of smoke from Neil Brooks' Clio there, who's dropped back in the background, but it is going to be a win for Fletcher, just ahead of Martin Peters, the closest A final of the day so far. Neil Brooks will come in for third place, then Ed Shepherd in his lightweight Citroen C2, having shed that bumper, will take fourth, just ahead of Ben Flynn and Finn Vore. Nathan Jones next home in the Civic, and the final finisher should be Andy Harris in the Suzuki Swift. He comes out of the hairpin for the final time. So the closest A final of the day is won by Alex Fletcher by 3/4 of a second ahead of Martin Peters. Neil Brooks an excellent third and a heat win as well. Well done to him. Edmund Shepherd in fourth ahead of Ben Flynn. Then Nathan Jones sixth because Finn Vore got a penalty for that incident on the back straight when he went off. And Andy Harris completes the 8 finishes our MOT Group Production A final.
Well, I don't suppose we're going to see a closer final than that that we've just seen there, Alex, all afternoon. I think you must almost have an impression of Martin Peters' car on your back bumper. What was that like?
Yeah, obviously Martin's a great guy. We raced real close together. That was basically a repeat of round one, wasn't it? You know, we're right on each other's tails, but no, it's brilliant to race against Martin and just so close. That was hard work. You made me work for it properly then.
We certainly did. Yeah. And any fluff ups with, that's a technical expression, with gear changes or whatever, no. And he would have been past you.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, thankfully I got all of them this time, so I normally get one that's wrong, but thankfully everything paid off that time.
And a box full of all the gears you started with?
Yep, so
that makes a change.
New D10 springs in there, and it's gorgeous. So yeah, brilliant. It drove fantastic.
And yet conditions out there were probably less than fantastic. The loose looked incredibly bumpy.
Yeah, definitely, and especially just to the left, just offline. There's some really big bumps developing there, so that's why I was just trying to keep dead tight. That's why it was catching me through the loose there. I was just trying to be a bit sensible and preserve the car.
My hearty congratulations to you, Alex. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers, Steve. Cheers.
So that wraps up round 2 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship here at Blyton Park, with Alex Fletcher in the lead of the championship after 2 rounds of those 2A final wins. The action now moves on to Pembrey Circuit in South Wales for a double header at the end of July before moving on to Liddon Hill and Knock Hill later on in the autumn. But that does wrap up our coverage from here at Blyton Park on a cracking day of motorsport in Lincolnshire. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.